Hey guys, it's me Nas. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinion of each of the three PLEs that WWE has give. Now, I didn't watch either SNME event, Great American Bash. I also didn't watch it. For the Evolution though, is that, there was one match or maybe two matches that I'm looking forward, which is the Battle Royal and the No Holds Barred, but I'm going to watch that later. And also, I'm gonna make a video about later around the AEW All In Texas, which is a good pay-per-view that they made. Most of the matches that is considered to be really watch-worthy, where I'm going to discuss about my thoughts about it. But this time I'm going to talk about each of the PLEs based on the results I already saw in the highlights. And yeah, I know that there's some right winners, there's some odd finish, but that's how it is. First and foremost, we're gonna go with Randy Orton defeated Drew McIntyre. Now, this is one of those things that yes, we got Drew lose again to Randy Orton for another time, which is crazy. But the thing is that when Logan Paul was sided with Drew, Jerry Roll comes around and then hits, I think, a right hand, if I'm not mistaken, to Logan. And the thing is that it's one of those things that they're gonna build up this type of SummerSlam feud, a tag team between Orton and Jericho versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. So it's to be honest, I understand the celebrity, but yeah, it's not really the one thing I'm looking forward to it, especially at SummerSlam. But I understand the build up they're trying to do. Now, the event happened where Naomi attacked Jade Cargill, and Nick Aldis announces that Bianca Belair will be the special guest referee for the No Holds Barred match at Evolution, which is it happened recently. And yes, this is one of the matches that I'm going to watch later. I'm not gonna give my thoughts afterwards, but it's like, you know, I would say that it's is interesting because they had that storyline that was built, and I'm looking forward to that the most. And then we got the United States champion Solo Sokoa versus Jimmy. Also, not gonna lie, Jimmy. There were people saying that Jimmy did a good match because he wrestles all right. Now there's a difference between him and Jay. Jay was more into the crowd favorite based on he still needs to work on the mic, but I think that he's all right. And Jimmy is like, he's more of the guy that can wrestles more in the ring than his brother. But he did a good job. Against Solo. It ended up in the end of Solo's MFT, his team that basically beat up, Jimmy. Jay wasn't there on site, so it's like, okay, it is what it is. And we also got LA defeating Seth, but this is what happened because Seth tries to hit a somewhat of a almost a moonsault, but he landed on his both of his feet, but his knee, you know, got hurt, and then it was they called it audible where they're gonna let LA Knight win the match, which is kind of a bit obvious because Seth cannot go further. And I don't know what this mean for the Money in the Bank. Is it going to be exchanging hands from right now, or what's this mean for Monday Night Raw? Because Seth was basically you know, the one leading charge for the Monday nights. Like, what's next for LA Knight? Who is he going to feud with? Is it just only Bronson Reed? Is it going to be Braun Breaker? Who knows? And the last one would be the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther versus Goldberg. Good thing this is a 3 minute match, and of course they hit with everything they have. When Goldberg hit the jackhammer, his knee, you know, he was hurt by his knee. He grabbed his knee before the ref comes in and takes the pinfall, but it ended up with Gunther, making the sleeper hold, and then gives Gunther the pass out to lose his final match. Where Goldberg saying his retirement speech, and it kind of ends up the retirement speech midway through. Of course, because they don't have enough time. But I watched the full retirement segment. I understand that according to Goldberg, is that you have to respect other individuals. It doesn't matter what race or what color or I would say what religion like that. But the thing is about Goldberg is that he also show that he also helped the flood victims as well in Texas. That's also good. And yeah, what a way to end his last match with that speech. It was good. And yeah, overall, it was alright. Even if some people may not like Goldberg because of how he was booked, in the end of the day, he is one of the legends of WCW, and how people love him when he was, basically the guy for most of the childhood, or most of everybody's childhood, when they watch WCW. So yeah, that's basically my Saturday's night main event. Thoughts and opinion. I didn't watch because of the ad situation. We already know how it is, and it's good that they put it in YouTube. But I'm not willing to watch the event because of those ads. So yeah, overall it was alright. It was alright for me, but I would say if I'm gonna rank this PLE, it's somewhere not as great as the other two, which I'm going to discuss: the Great American Bash and Evolution. Alright, so we are now going to discuss about the Great American Bash. Um, Overall, it was like okay as well. Like it has some good storyline that was built for this show, and yeah, it ended up in a way that's like it's not too crazy, but something like it's a good PLE for NXT. So first we have Javon Evans defeated Jasper Troy. So of course, this is all about strength versus speed, and yeah, mostly the well-experienced Javon defeated the new upcoming star Jasper Troy, which is like okay, interesting. So good thing that it ended up in a way where okay, Javon's getting the win. So it's alright for Jasper to lose because of course he's just new to the roster, and some people who are new to the roster would start loss before wins. Some may have wins, but they don't have to win that much, and that's how it is. It depends on the booking situation, but that's how it is on how Sean booked this guy. I'm sure he's gonna become a major player in the future, but for now, Javon gets the win. Next one was Sol Ruka defeated Easy Dame. This is the NXT Women's North American title match. So yeah, a regular match that ended up in a good contest as well. That it is interesting because you got Zarya in the situation to look after Soul, and then you got Tatum Paxton looking after for EC. It is a good match, especially like you know um all I know is that in this match it ended up in a way where yeah, um as they say that as the match wore on the spear started flowing, as Ruka flattened Dame and Zarya level Paxley after she got involved to save the challenger from people. So yeah, they kind of involved, but it ended up in a way where Sol gets the win back. Next one would be Ethan Page defeated Ricky Starks. This the North American Falls Count Anywhere match. So yeah, it is a good I would say this could be the match of the night if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is that with Jasper Troy, yeah, another one that ends up, and yeah, basically I would say that ends in a brutal situation. But still, Page gets he retains his championship back. And yeah, you also have Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. This is the thing, right? Um, the thing is that both of these guys will do whatever they can to beat Tricked. But of course, you got Dark State to emerge. Yeah. So they're going to have a feud for Slammiversary, if I'm not mistaken. Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship. But of course, Darcy had to evolve, and that's how it is. We also have Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura NXT title match. Now, it's no, to be honest, like nobody would pick that Oba's gonna lose. It would be a surprising, but the thing is about Oba, he's still the champ, of course. Like the only person that I could think that he's gonna lose the championship by the time, if he's gonna drop the belt is either, I wouldn't say Jasper Troy, but I could think of, guys like Jasper Troy in the near future, but most likely Javon is one of those guys. I could also think of other guys like, Ricky Starks in the future, but not right now. Um, yeah, but it's a good way that Sean's giving an opportunity to other rosters. It has the ending where, Josh Briggs basically almost interference, giving the interference attack using the belt, and then yeah, Yoshiki understands what's going on. I think Josh is going to be a heel against Yoshiki. They're gonna have a feud one day, so yeah, that's gonna happen. Um, you also have the last match, which is Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe beating Fatal Influence. It's obvious, like, you know, even if Fatal Influence lose the match, it's kind of bit obvious that you got two of the best women's wrestlers, one from former TNA and the other one a former AEW is going to win, which is like, okay, it settles for the Evolution pay-per-view now for the NXT Women's Championship match. But at the same time, we also have a surprise, another surprise TNA wrestler, which is Masha Slamovich, who was also there to basically even the odds, beating up Jasmine Nix. So yeah, I think Great American Bash is okay as well. I think the Falls Count Anywhere could be the match of the night. And yeah, so I'm going to pause here and then going from Evolution, we're going to discuss on. Okay, so now I'm done with two PLEs. Now, overall, before I'm going to finish this Evolution, the thing is about WWE, they're willing to do whatever it takes to build three PLEs to take down the hype of All In of AEW. But the thing is that it's not even that close. Like when you think about it, honestly, like Saturday's Night Main Event wasn't that really great. Great American Bash could be the number two of the best PLEs in this month for WWE, and then number one would be Evolution, of course, because despite seven match cards, which is crazy, um, it is one of those things that they gave everything for the women in this pay per view. So I'm going to discuss first on how this goes. First and foremost, Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch defeated Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. So it's basically she retains, and I'm not really too thrilled with it, but it's one of those things that yeah, they're willing to not give up Becky the IC championship. She just recently won that in Money in the Bank, so it is what it is. This one is the one that is a bit surprising. So NXT Women's Champion JC Jane defeated Jordan Grace with Blake Monroe becomes a heel. You know, she attacks Jordan Grace with the championship, and it's crazy though because Blake debuted as a babyface, right? And then she ends up being a heel, which, to be honest, if you know her as Mariah May in AEW, she is considered to be a great heel. So it makes more sense that she should be a heel because it kind of suits her in a way. Also, we'll have a new feud between Grace against Monroe, so that's going to be interesting. Next one would be the women's tag team champions, Raquel Rodriguez and then Roxanne Perez defeated Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Kabuki Warriors, and Soluka and Zarya. It's okay as well. It is a frenzy of a tag team. Um, Most likely, it makes sense that you can't let Roxanne and Raquel losing the championships. They're still building up that type of feud of in the near future, or that storyline where Liv is gonna come back and then sees Raquel, his Dom, his guy Dom, and the Judgment Day feeling like she's gonna be replaced by Roxanne. So I think the reign is gonna last a bit longer by the time when she comes back. So yeah, honestly, it is a okay match as well. And the highlights of it is that yeah, Charlotte saved Alexa from the spear from Zarya, so that's kind of bit like interesting. So Charlotte is getting building up that type of bond with Alexa Bliss, which is good. It shows that despite that she is dominant as a singles competitor, she's willing to put that aside and then follow more into helping or to be tag team partners with Alexa Bliss, which is a good thing, so that they can build up some bond and hope for the best. I could see them as women's champion in the future, but not right now. So next one, the women's champion, WWE's women's champion, Tiffany Stark versus Trish Stratus. This is basically past against future, similar to Charlotte versus Trish Stratus back in SummerSlam a prior years ago. So yeah, most likely it ended up in a way where Tiffany's gonna retain. I don't think Trish is gonna become a champion. She already give it everything she had, and the crowd respects by giving her the "you still got a chance." But the thing is that it ended up in a way that Stephanie is still champion. There was no sign for the cash in from Naomi. It's understandable that in the future we will see the results of it, which I already know. This one is the match that I'm gonna look forward later, which is Jade Cargill defeated Naomi, no holds barred match. What's good about this match? Not because it's no holds barred, but not because of Bianca as a special guest. They went all out, like legit. People say it's a good match, so I'm gonna look forward to it. And yeah, this could be match of the night for sure between these two ladies. Despite Jade winning over Naomi, it goes to show that yeah, she could be planning to compete for the women WWE Women's Championship. We will wait and see. And then we got Stephanie Baker win the Battle Royal to earn a World Championship match. We don't know what championships is going after. It's obvious she's in Raw, so maybe against Naomi. We may not be sure of that, but it's kind of a bit obvious that this is a good match as well. I'm gonna watch it. It has that old memories between past, present, future type of vibes. Of course, like Kehlani doing the Kofi Kingston situation. Um, Another thing that happened where not only Lola Vice and Nikki Bella doing the twirl, but also Nia Jax, which is funny as well, and Last Legend being the Cesaro lifting Big Show at WrestleMania 30, similar to what she did to Nia Jax. It was like amazing, but at the same time, it ended up with the devil's kiss of Stephanie Baker to Last Legend on the apron and gets the win. So yeah, she did say that you're going to remember my name, La Palmera, Stephanie Baker. Kind of crazy that Stephanie McMahon, Stephanie Baker, two Stephanies in the ring at the post match, which is crazy. But next one would be Naomi cash in her Money in the Bank. This is basically the main event. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, women's world champion, but it turned into a triple threat because of Naomi, and it was a surprise because she did not did anything much for this situation with Io or Rhea in Raw because she was on SmackDown. And yeah, there were some signs that she's gonna cash in on Tiffany, but it turns out to be a great way that she was booked to take the title. She deserves that she won it. And it goes to show that yes, it is a great way to end the match or great way to end PLE. So honestly, Evolution could be or arguably might be the best PLE this month for WWE. Has a lot of let's just say surprise moments, specifically the heel turn and then the cash in, and at the same time has some good memories. So yeah, I feel like to me this could be the best, in my opinion, the best women's Evolution PLE or pay-per-view since 2018. 18 was also good, but 2025 has something to prove. And yeah, that would be all for my thoughts about WWE's three PLEs from Saturday's Night Main Event, the Great American Bash NXT, and then Evolution. Now, there are already reports that War Games will happen at San Diego. I think it might happen between the War Games match could happen between basically you could argue Team Cena versus whoever he's gonna face. It could be like Team Solo versus Team Jacob. That could happen. We may not know, but overall, when you look at the PLEs that was already scheduled, it was interesting. I feel like this is the only time that WWE only does a three PLEs in the same month because of the AEW All In. But I hope they don't do this again. First and foremost, it is a great way for wrestling fans to watch. You know, specifically weekends for the wrestling shows, but it's really, I would say it's more of a burnout because you basically had all of them lined up basically for PLEs at the same time. Specifically, the Evolution only happens today. Yesterday was basically the beginning of Saturday's night, or if I'm not mistaken, All In, Saturday's night, and then NXT's Great American Bash. But I hope they don't do that ever again. For WWE, I get it, you're trying to take down the hype, but you don't need to do that, because you just have to let wrestling fans take a breathe and let other companies shine for a bit, because it's their moment for sure. But yeah, overall, like I said, Evolution is way better than the two PLEs. But whatever happens in the Cash in Paris SummerSlam, hopefully it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to who Stephanie's gonna compete based on which champion she's gonna choose. It's obvious that some people would say it would be the new women's world champion Naomi, but who knows. So all I can say is that thank you for watching, guys. We will see each other in the next video, which I'm going to present my thoughts on All In. Peace.